folks, hello and welcome. My name is Aaron Brown. It is the car time. What are we talking about today, Justin?
Well, I'm Justin Westbrook, and this week we're gonna talk about the news. We're gonna have a car unit. We're gonna talk about found on Craigslist, and then we're gonna see how you felt about all of that. Okay?
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Stay tuned for more. Sit down, keep watching, do whatever. Let's get into it.
So what's the first story of the day, Aaron Brown?
So, I'm sure you saw this, but for the purpose of the camera,
I don't
I'm going
read
to ask you.
Jalopnik.
I don't either. Do you read Jalopnik? Yes, we read Jalopnik. There was a story this week.
Yep.
We got a video. Actually, someone sent it to me personally over Facebook
Special
over the
boy.
weekend of this poor person who had their Ford Focus RS at a dealership for the head gasket recall, which is a big deal for the Focus RS. This person had a dash cam in their car, and
Which is a good idea.
Always a good idea. After getting the car back, they found that a couple of dealership employees were teaching each other how to drive manual on this customer car.
And then when you get to a stop sign, don't you gotta go back to neutral, right?
Yes, neutral. Like right now, just clutch and neutral. That's it.
Hey, let's go!
This happened at Hawk Ford of Oakland, Illinois, which, I feel bad calling out dealerships like this, but that is such a no-no. I used to work somewhere where I would drive people's cars, and that is, no. Even if they're not recording you on video, you don't do that.
It's just such a cringeworthy video too, because doesn't really seem like they know exactly what they're talking about. The person teaching the other person, neither of them really seem to know what exactly they're doing, and the idea that this is just not their car, the person who owns the car doesn't know that they're doing this, and then they're taking it out on public roads in what looks like a neighborhood, trying to do this for the first time, doing whatever damage they might be doing to that car is it's just really bad.
No, it's terrible. And Jason, who wrote the story, he put in the R on the top a quote, "What am I trying to do?"
That's literally a quote from the video.
Yeah, that's just absolutely terrible. Anyways, let's move on from that. What's next, Justin?
So there's been a lot of stories in the past about, speaking of manual transmissions, there's been a lot of stories in the past about would-be car thieves being sort of dissuaded from actually stealing the car or impeded from stealing the
I feel
car.
like people usually say the thefts have been thwarted.
The thefts have been thwarted because the car was a standard transmission. It was a manual transmission car. And in America, at least, it's different in Europe, but in America, at least, a lot of people, as you can tell from the last video, don't really know how to drive stick-shift cars. And so Volkswagen decided to play this up, and they ran an ad for the new Jetta GLI, which is one of the few cars on the market today, new cars on the market today, where you can still option a stick-shift. But the whole ad circles around the fact that this guy's oh, I don't need to lock my car because it's a manual. It's some sort of security feature as a bonus for the car.
You unlock the car? Nah, it's stick shift.
What are you talking about?
Do they run any fine print on that ad?
There's
they had to have.
There's a fine print at the end of the ad that says please lock your doors.
This ad is a lie.
Yeah.
Don't listen to
I think
us.
it literally
buy a
says,
GLI.
I think it literally says our lawyers would like you to know that you need to lock your doors.
It's okay, whatever. Yeah. So if you are out there and you drive a manual car, like I do, the car boy, lock your car. Continue to do so. You don't want anyone stealing your manual car. Because that'd be unfortunate. Especially if it's a brand new GLI.
Well, not even that. You don't want any, if you leave the car unlocked, obviously they're going to take anything out of it. We also have more news.
What else is happening? Did you see the millennial themed NASCAR car? The beer car. Oh my God.
The beer car.
The beer car, it was Busch, right?
Yeah, I think we're allowed to say it was Busch.
Well, we're covering news, so we can talk about the news.
Course.
We're not advertising for Busch.
There was some sort of I don't know, they said if they didn't do something, they would make a millennial inspired
They said they lost
car.
a bet.
And but basically,
millennial, that's very millennial in itself.
That is very millennial.
Losing a bet over Twitter.
And so basically, they came back and they reskinned their NASCAR livery. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Livery.
To
be millennial inspired. So it's millennial pink, I think is the actual color.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. It's millennial pink, and it's just covered in your sort of typical what your dad thinks millennials talk like stuff. So what's actually written on the car?
Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up. Oh, I haven't pulled up.
What was that?
I don't know. I need an excuse to look at my computer. So on the car, there's, quote, "is Bay" with heart eyes emoji.
What is Bay? It's not an existential
not
question.
so
I'm
not
asking you
Bay.
literally.
Not well. I don't want to go there. Bay, like, oh wow, not such Bay, but that person is Bay. That is Bay.
Such Bay.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I
So
think your
that's
Tinder
one
game
thing.
is really strong.
Weak. So next there's hashtag squad goals, which I was actually thinking about. That seems kind of counterintuitive on a NASCAR race car that only has one seat. That's
Yeah.
not squad goals. If I'm
No.
going for squad
Hey
goals,
man, there's more than just the driver on a NASCAR team.
okay, and then there's oh no, quote, turnt left.
I actually like that one.
You like, because there's a lot of left.
Well,
right? There's
yeah.
The cars,
That's the
they
joke.
go left.
But I feel like
But also turnt, which in its millennial dictionary,
Yeah.
if you look it up, it probably is like, you're kind of lit, which is
Yeah.
another millennial
I kind of
word.
feel like I could see myself stumbling out of like a karaoke bar at 3 a.m. and like falling and being like, "Oh, I'm so turned left." Anyway,
That's stupid. No, don't do that. Don't be like Justin. That's bad. Don't be like Justin. What was the other one? Oh, and the spoiler reads,
skirt, skirt.
oh, I wasn't going to do it like that, but yeah.
How are you gonna skirt, skirt?
Skirt.
That sounds gross.
Skirt.
There's one thing
Like
that
the
you
tire
didn't.
noise.
There's one thing you were going to overlook,
What
and
did I
that is my
overlook?
favorite part of the car, which I don't think you get a good look at in the video, but it's that it does say in big blue letters "Yeet," which is one of my all-time favorite vines. I don't remember which one came first, but there's one of like the girl with the empty can in the hallway, and she goes, "This bitch empty," and she throws it and yells "Yeet," and I just really relate to that moment.
Hey Tara, you want some?
I'm sorry for overlooking that. I actually, I make the Facebook post and I made the caption "Eat,"
Nice.
which I usually try to avoid saying that in real life. But anyways, let's move on. Wonderful to see a millennial car out on track.
Yeah, of course.
For NASCAR,
but we're gonna
all
move
the
on
teens.
to the whole reason the show exists, which is so that Aaron Brown can talk about his own cars.
I love talking about myself. And recently, I will tell you that I bought a car.
What car did you buy?
I bought a 1995 BMW M3. For you BMW enthusiasts out there, that is an E36, which is
Nice.
the second generation of, that's the second generation. So there's an E30 and there's an E36, but there are other BMWs before that. Don't listen to me.
I think you were trying to say the second generation M3.
Oh yeah, so it's a second
Okay.
generation M3.
There
That's
you go.
fair. I bought a second generation M3. It's an E36 for you BMW nerds out there. Assuming that previous part got cut.
Why did you buy it?
So I had a Honda S2000, which if you're on our Facebook group the way back, which you should be, you would know I was looking for a used car, which people yelled at me for trying to get one too cheap. But I got one too cheap, so
There,
screw
nerds.
you, all you car haters out there. But so yeah,
but this is not like your standard shitty Craigslist M3. What
it's
is
close.
what is especially gross about this one?
It has like 125,000 miles on it. It is black. It has
You're
a full.
skipping. It's completely stripped. There is no interior.
It has
you
no
had to describe to me the process you had to go through.
So if
You
you
do
read,
not have a nose for this story.
if
Clearly.
you read the if you read the blog, you would know that I had to buy it without seats and without wheels.
Yeah.
Or,
So
no,
on
yeah.
on
those
your
two
way
things.
to Boston from New York, you had to stop somewhere and buy seats, right?
Yeah, so I found a nice guy up in Connecticut,
Right.
Central Connecticut. He hooked me up with a seat from an E46, which Matthias, you know Matthias.
I don't.
Good car boy. You do know Matthias. He's a good car boy. He hooked it up. He put the seat in, and I convinced the seller to actually go out and put tires on the wheels that he wasn't about to give me. Anyways, we got the car back, fully stripped, as a lightweight flywheel, new clutch, which is super heavy, and a bolt-in half cage, which I'd like to actually replace with a full rally legal cage. But that's
never
gonna cost me
gonna
like $2,000, and I
It's
am
gonna
not
cost
in a
you
rush
more
to do
than
that. I already ordered. I spent $1,000 on seats already. 2 FIA approved seats,
You
which
poor
should be
thing.
coming. Actually, I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm upset with that.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. I don't know.
Most
So-
importantly, it sounds absolutely terrible.
Oh, it's so loud. You need to hear it. If I can get a video, we'll throw it in maybe somewhere.
Yeah.
But it is so
Do you
want
to mimic what it sounds like? For
You
us?
please.
No,
no,
it's your
come on.
car. You know it
You
better
did
than I do.
skirt so well.
You're
No, I'm not. I'll send you. Contact me. I'll find a video for you.
Unbelievable.
I know what we're talking about now. It is time for the Craigslist battle between Justin and I.
right, yes.
This week, we found cars for under $2,000 that had to be very WTF in that millennial sense from the NASCAR
yeah.
car. In
Stillwater,
Chex Oklahoma. Yeah. Chex Notes, Stillwater, Oklahoma. A place I don't think I've driven through Oklahoma, nearly ran out of gas. My second car.
Maybe you should consider
cross
stopping
country.
occasionally.
I stop for gas, but I try and do it. Okay, look. The point is, we're looking at cars, Craigslist in Oklahoma. What did you find, Justin? What do you
Sure,
have?
I'll go first. Mine is a little reserved. It's a little quiet, and you only know it's a WTF car if you know your cars. I found a 1974 Ford Pinto wagon. Now, let me say, on the surface, this looks like your standard 70s Americana wagon. It's a Ford product. There's plenty of room for you, your family, and all of their belongings. But you're not gonna want to pack it full of stuff because, as I'm sure many of you know, the Ford Pinto had a problem, and that problem was that it liked to explode a lot. So what happened, a lot, and there were lawsuits and settlements about this, is you would get rear-ended, and then your car would explode, and all of you and your family and all of your possessions that you packed into your wagon would perish.
Is there something you're trying to tell us here, Justin, about something?
The quality of American manufacturing? No.
About your car buying? You
Oh.
want to buy a car where you will explode in it?
Well, no, but that's a little exciting, and it's
What about that is
and
exciting?
it's a conversation
About buying
starter.
a car.
You
Oh,
pull up
with
anywhere
who?
you pull
Who would
up,
get in your
someone's
car?
gonna go, "Wow, that thing is still on the road." You're gonna be like, "Hell yeah, it is, bro."
Not for long. Drives off into sunset. Peace.
Exactly.
Goodbye.
Okay, that's memorable.
I will say I do like the color. I am a fan of green.
It's an olive green.
Yeah, and it has a matching interior too.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of nice. That's fine and good. I don't know about the WTF factor. What I found definitely raises the bar on the WTF scale. I found this 2001 Kia Sportage Desert Rat as the...
Now, did Kia make a factory Desert Rat?
I don't think so. And the other thing is the seller put in Kia Sportage Wicked Cool Edition, which I Googled, and I don't think that is an OEM option package either. But there's a full camo desert look going on here. It doesn't have a front bumper. It has an ammo box on the rear. I mean, look at it. Rear-wheel drive. Imagine going through the Mojave Desert or whatever, flying down, windows
I don't want
down,
to.
and
Here's the
sending
thing.
it. It's so much fun.
Your car is a WTF car on the surface. It's a very surface car. Somebody who's clearly a little upset in some ways has
Aren't
painted
we all a
it.
little upset in some
Painted
ways,
it
Justin?
with your standard desert camo. That's kind of boring.
Oh yeah.
And then
Where's your desert camo?
And then they just ruined an otherwise already crappy car. For me,
This is a car that no one would want to buy if it were normal. Look at it now.
no one
Check
wants
it
to
out.
buy it now.
No, this car screams.
It's not
Go
even a
drive me in a
4x4.
desert. You will have a great time.
My car is very relatable. First of all,
To
as,
whom?
As long
People who want to die?
Yes, that's very
Jesus.
relatable. And as long
God.
as you don't get rear-ended,
We're talking
drive
about-
safely, you'll be fine.
Rear end crashes are a big deal.
No,
They do happen.
that's not true.
I wanted to also point out
Okay.
that in this listing, the seller said, "Don't lowball. It's tacky. Something we should all take to heart." Now we can move on. If you think that I won, please let us know in the comments. If you think Justin won with his rolling explosion mobile,
How cool is that?
not cool.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If this works out, you'll be seeing us hopefully more. Not me next week, because I'll be in Austria.
Oh, Austria, wow. Well, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
I'm Aaron. This is Justin. We are the Car Boys, and take care and good luck on
You are
your
Alex
adventures. What?